Alright guys, welcome back to another Did You Know? Of course we're back in Car X Drift Racing Online 2. And I got another one for you guys here. Another hidden touge. Now, if you guys seen my first video, you know that there's a few touge spots within the Ebisu Circuit map. Now, these are not hidden, but they are. Something you don't really know just from looking at the map. So when you load in like this. You're kind of like just on the map, and then once you load into a certain spot, if you hit start again, it'll put you on the menu. So you have to click over to map, and then yeah. So you essentially just be like this, and you can fast travel to any parts of the map that you want to any different course out of the entire circuit. Now these touges are really just these little gray roads here. These little grayed out roads. The white roads, of course, are the actual courses. Excuse me. And then the grayed out roads, even like around here, are just the roads around the circuit. These, as you can see, all attached. So you can essentially fast travel. You're just trying to get somewhere quick. Or if you're roaming around, just drifting with the boys, these roads will lead to each course. Now, on some of these roads, they're not just roads, they're actually like mini touges. And I showed you one in the first video here. It started off at Driftland. Now you can get to the first one I showed you at different courses. The same for this next one. The next one is a little bit more accessible because it seems to go to more courses. Just kind of drove it and it took me to North Course. So if you go to North Course and you know North Course, you know it's a tunnel that is off of the parking lot. You can enter it and it'll take you right here. So this is the one we're talking about. It takes you around, brings you all the way back up to Driftland. And again, just looking at it, it's like, that's nothing. So like, that's why I say it's kind of hidden and secret, because if you just look at it from the map, it doesn't look like much. And it's probably why no one uses it, because they can't tell. The dotted lines are, I found out, are dirt roads. So, you know, if you set up a rally car for some reason, you want to go in the gravel, basically not even dirt, just gravel. Then there you go. Otherwise, it's super slick, super hard to drift. Just on street tires. I don't think, sorry, on semi slicks or sport tires. I'm not sure if street tires would be better and the suspension set up like a drag car. If it, I mean, sorry, rally car, if it would handle better. But you know, we don't do too much rally on Car X. I see people do some tollgate racing, circuit racing type stuff, especially on number one, and essentially number two is supposed to be even better to allow some of that. It is drift racing, so obviously there's drift and racing involved in this game title, but you know, for the people who are confused, drifting is not racing. Uh, you're not racing, you know. But anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna show you this second touge here. This is one that was actually shown to me as I was drifting around on the first one from the first video. I was in a NOK, you know, one of the teams here local on CarX Drift Racing, and one of those members had a lobby going, and he saw me, you know, fooling around, and then he showed me another spot. So he's like, "Hey, here you go." I'm not sure if he knew about it and he just joined in, or he was like, you know, "Hey, this guy knows what's up," or like, "Oh yeah, you showed me something, let me show you something," or I don't know. You know, I'm not really sure what was going through his mind. There's no microphones or chat on this game so far in the test play, so you know. But he did show me something regardless, so I appreciate that, Nocturnal. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So again, you can access it any location for the most part. I'll show you where this actually takes you, because it takes you to different parts of the map. But it is kind of harder to find. That's why I say it's hidden, because you can be messing around on North Course, and if you don't drive through that tunnel, you'll never see it. And then if you drive through it, you may not realize where you're at and what's going on until you drive it. Same thing for like Driftland. I just happened to find it and drove around after being in this area, and I still haven't been on this course yet. I just literally fast travel. I saw what looked like it was a regular road, and I wanted to go explore. And I went and explored, and I ended up never even touching Driftland. So I still yet to drive there. Maybe we'll get some videos going on, but yeah, perfect. So if you guys remember from the first video I showed you, you start off here if you fast travel to Driftland. If you just drive straight over here, this is the first touge over to the left. Now, you can drive to the right if you come this way and go through the parking lot straight over there. Of course, we're going to bag it up. My HUD is back on because I hit the start menu. But yeah, you pull off, you start off in this corner, so you can go right or you can go left. If you go to the right, this one is a little bit deeper. So that one, like, yeah, kind of easy to see, especially if you're trying to find the entrance to Driftland, which is behind those gates. Pretty easy to see. There's a road there. You're more likely to try to explore. But back here, it doesn't look like it's anything but these little grayed out roads that you might haven't even noticed in your mini map. So with that being said, you actually have to drive back here to know what's going on. And then when you get back here, you gotta kind of know where to go. So up to the left there, you can see in the mountains, the trees there on the tree line. There's a road. That road leads you to North Course. So that's what I'm talking about. You can access the road from North Course, and that is kind of like somewhat of a touge, but it's very short. It's not too bad. I'll probably show you guys here at the end of the video what it looks like. But yeah, that one is where you come down from North Course. So you can access this road, and it's not too bad, but it's not really easy. I have to turn my mic up. But yeah, it's not really easy to get here, and you probably get lost. So I think it's easier just to start Driftland and come over here to the right. So you want to keep coming down once you get back here by all these, I guess, warehouses. But and you come down here to the right. Come down, come down, come down, and this is the start of that touge. So you can either go to the left or you can go to the right. I want to say they both connect, and then that takes you to different courses. Again, I told you all these roads, like I guess these signs are saying, school course, touge course, Hayagase course. I probably said that really wrong. And my Minami course. Yeah, I probably really abuse those. I'm sorry if you guys speak that language. I'm gonna say it's Japanese. Then please correct me in the comments. I apologize for butchering. But yeah, anyways, down to the right is the one that's a little bit faster. You gotta be on your P's and Q's, especially coming downhill to this very sharp right turn. You can veer off again like the other touge. I told you it just meets up at every spot. This is drift school, so you can come to drift school and pretty much find it, but you'll be in the middle of it. So you want to start at the top, you just drive back. Another little sharp right-hander coming down, a lot of fun on speed, especially if you get your car set up nice. And then it kind of dead ends over here. And what is this? Sorry, what is this here? Yeah, so the Drift Stadium. A little bit harder to find on Drift Stadium from where you start off at because you have to drive either down in this corner, and usually you're driving, you're probably not paying attention to that, or you have to come off the course over there on the left side and see it. But yeah, it kind of drives down here. You can see the skid marks. I was kind of already over here messing around. But the road is, something like where you won't really notice it because it just looks like the parking lot for the regular course. And then over here, we're at the backside of the Drift Stadium. So it's not something you will, notice and it would be super obvious, but it is here. And this is the shorter part. So this is why I took you guys here first. It dead ends over here into one of those roads I said is a gravel road. I'm not going to take you down there. It is a little fun. It does have a decent amount of road to it, but it is, very slick. It's not something that you're going to want to try to drift unless you fancy drifting on ice, because that's exactly what it feels like. For my guys from CarX Drift Racing 1, it feels like you're driving on 90s. Actually, probably worse than that. But yeah, so you can drive over there, you can drive all the courses, and it just basically is just a way to connect everything. But again, it is a touge in the sense. Now, oh, I went the wrong way. See, this is how you kind of get confused because if you're not paying attention, easy to get lost. And I'm on another dirt road, so I went the wrong way, but it's okay. So yeah, these roads just really connect you to all the courses. So yeah, we're gonna go back to Driftland. We're gonna start back up at the top again, and we'll take you down the other side of the same touge, but it's a little bit longer. So once again, guys, just start off at Driftland. It's the easiest. Come over here to the right if you want to go to this second hidden one. If you want to go to the original one I found, it's over there to the left. Now we come back down over here again, and this time instead of going down to the right, we're gonna go down to the left. Once we come through this gate, you come over around here, and again, like it looks like a parking lot, but if you keep driving, it opens up, and it's another road, and it's another touge. Now this one's a little confusing because as you drive, you're like, oh, it's nothing. But if you got to keep going towards the back behind these garages, the road keeps going. You guys can kind of tell how it opens up. And even though it looks like a regular road or a bunch of parking lots, it is not. And then I'm mistaken that it is where we were at earlier and it connects. I'll take you over there in a few seconds. This is the touge course. So this is another way you can access it. This one is not that hard. So if you want to start at touge course or Driftland, it'll be really easy, but you can see how far we got already. That's where we started at. We drove the road and we're all the way up here at the touge course. So, really fun way to kind of get from course to course. Or if you just want to drive outside of the course, get some clips with the boys. Definitely a nice little add-on and kind of a way they structured this map. I think it makes it the best because it gives you a little bit of everything and not too much of touge if you're not a touge guy, and then it doesn't go unappreciated if you are a touge guy and you don't notice it's even here. But yeah, I guess it also doesn't outshadow Kami, which is of course going to be the obvious touge map where it's just nothing but street driving. So yeah, just gives you like a little sprinkle in there. But if you start off at the touge course, you're gonna start off here anyways. Just turn around. I guess I'll do that in another video because for the guys who are from CarX1, I just took a screenshot instead of getting rid of my. For the guys who are from CarX1, you guys know we have this course. Now you may not know what it's called, but it is from Ebisu and it is the touge course. But it is a modded map that was added to CarX, so you have to download it. A lot of people overlooked it. I don't know the name of it over in CarX1, but it's not a lot of fun because it is, I think, proportionally incorrect. So it's a little hard to drive. It's a little too skinny, a little too weird, but the devs nailed it in this one. So if you come over into CarX2 and you want to drive that same course, which I'll show you in another video, and I'll probably drop down a link in the comments, then you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. You'll probably have seen that map at least once or twice if you are a regular on CarX and been around the block. Then yeah, you'll have seen the map and know exactly what I'm talking about, and you'll notice that it's a lot better. Just the space alone. This is kind of a fun course, but it's just it gets a little mundane. I think that's probably also why no one really plays it on number one. But regardless of the fact, here is the rest of the touge. So you come down when you're coming down hill, you take a right, you come down over here, and then this one leads to another course as usual. This is just like an extension to the touges. You can keep going down if you want instead of stopping at the drift course. And as you guys remember, oh yeah, this doesn't connect. It is just the other side of the stadium. So we were here earlier on that other part of the other part that I was showing you, and we ended up down here because we went this way, if I'm not mistaken, and we ended up on we ended up on this way because we were on the back side of this stadium. Now we're across from the drift stadium at the east course. So going down to the right, that will take you to the past the drift course, and then pass into the drift stadium, which is this road. So you're basically coming down from Driftland. You take a right, and you go down here, and then you take a right, and this is where it splits off. So you can take the right where we went earlier, go past Drift Course, and you'll be on the backside of the stadium, which on that map was the name that I'm not going to butcher again, but there you go in parentheses. But if you went to the left like we did this time, it takes you up past the touge course where we are just at. And if you continue down this road, it takes you over to the east course, which is that other name that I am not going to butcher. But yeah, and then from there, you can just kind of hop back and forth to the different courses, do what you want to do. A lot of fun, but I prefer coming down and going to the left just because when you go to the right and you come down here, it kind of ends. It kind of ends quickly as you guys saw. But if you're driving around and you come down over here to the left, then you can go past where it would end for one course and it allows you to connect to the second course. And you can U-turn and go right back and go right back uphill. Now, we're going to go ahead and, since we're down here, we're going to just go ahead and run a quick touge run where I'm going to turn the sound back up so you guys can hear these sweet RB noises inside of this MK4 Supra. That Nagara style. If you guys don't know who that is, then you need to look him up. But, yeah, he is the man from Top Secret Supras. Top Secret with the Top Secret Supra, the very famous V12 Supra, the Gold Supra, which he had, I think, two of them. I'm not sure if he just swapped the engine out, if he had two of them, and the one setup, at least if it was the same one, had a RB in it, where he broke I guess, the record for how fast you go in a Supra on the road back in the day, and then got kicked out of a whole country because of it. But Smokey Nagara, yeah, look him up. So yeah, I'm on that smoky stuff today, guys, and we got a Supra MK4, the golden child of Toyota, with an RB26 in it that is a stroker, because we have fully built this motor in this car and put all the gadgets on it, all the thingamabobs, everything that you can think of, with the very hated aftermarket taillights. For some reason in the super community, these taillights are hated. I prefer them compared to just like being like everybody else. But then again, you're kind of like someone anyway. So there's nothing. I think with the Super, there's nothing you can really do to be different. It's very much like TRD, or some type of knockoff of the TRD wing, or the regular whale tail, which is the stock tail, or just no spoiler at all, with some type of ducktail, or just the stock look without the actual spoiler. You got these type of wheels, any knockoff version of these, um, the CCWs, which I actually just had on there and took them off, or one or two of the other type of wheels, which are usually HREs or some other knockoff look of a HRE. So yeah, with Supras, there's not too much you can do before you make it look bad. The side skirt's another very common mod, and as well as this diffuser and some of the other diffusers that you have the option to use of. But yeah, there's nothing you can really do with the Supra that hasn't already been done, and there's not much you can do to a Supra before you actually ruin it. I personally I'm not really a Supra guy. I'm a Toyota guy. I'm a car guy. I love cars, all types of cars. Nissan would probably be my favorite Japanese brand, um, and then Toyota would be number two. But Toyota is vastly, I think, larger when it comes to the cult following. They just have so much you can look at, from MRs to Supras, all the way down to Chasers. So, but Nissan, they have a lot too. So it just is what it is, and we all can have fun. And it's a lot of for us in either side. But yeah, I like a lot of different brands: American, Japanese, German. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, I just kind of do something that I think looks good, because when you get some of these cars that have been out for 10, 20, 30 years already, it's not a lot of reinventing the wheel that you can do without actually ruining it. And Supras in particular is just like, for some reason, it's not a lot you can do to the car before you just actually ruin the very classic lines of it. So, but let's go ahead and get our menu up and stop babbling. Not trying to make this video horribly long, even though it has gone a lot longer than I originally wanted to. But I can't leave with you guys without at least running this touge, reverse, and forwards, and then connecting it. We go left and right. Let's go ahead and get a quick look at our time, and we're gonna go. Yeah, we went about